Okay. Let's see. Alrighty. Trying to see if anybody gets notified of this. Live chat. Aha! I think it's going. Yay! Hi, Ileana Kano and Lucky Me and Wendy Olson. Yay! Okay, it's working. Boost my chair up so I don't feel like I'm sitting on the ground here. Carla Shropshire, hello. Shropshire. Right? Why do I keep... Every time. Grace Moon, hello. I think I heard Izzy be like, "Brr," from the kitchen. Here she goes barking. Why now? Literally right now. Izzy, you're okay. I mean, they were literally fine. They were napping, and then I start this, and then they start doing that shit from in there. It's like, no, you were quiet. All was well. What happened to you? Why'd you have to start up? Michelle Bienerman, hello. Wendy's like, I caught a live from the beginning. Yay. Sherry Krause, hey. And Heather Marie, hello. Yay. Awesome. I'm glad the notifications went out. I am like 20 minutes late, so sorry for all the people who were waiting at 5. I had some work stuff go over today, and I was just sitting here like, hurry up, let it finish. I'm supposed to do a live stream. And so, thank goodness, it finally ended. I went, as soon as it ended, I was like, okay, I'm going to run and pee, and I'm going to grab a LiQWYD, and I'm going to get in here. So that's what I did. Just ran and peed and grabbed a water, and here I am. Woohoo! I'm here. Wade Lester, hello. And hey, Kat. Awesome. And Sarah with an H. Woohoo. Exactly. Sarah's like, the pups know when you're working. I know. They were all quiet and napping. And then now I'm like, okay, now don't do it. But, literally, shut up. How are y'all doing today? Man, Sandy, hi. Yeah, hopefully y'all are having a good week so far. We have already made it to Tuesday, and here in the United States, this is kind of like our Monday of the week this week, because for most of us, it was a holiday yesterday for Memorial Day. So hopefully everybody had either a relaxing day or a fun day or a nice, like, in remembrance type of day where you honored the folks in your life or folks for Memorial Day. So, Old Broad, hello. Yay. Oh, I'm so glad that people are able to join. Usually I'm able to push a button here and make the chat come up in 2 different places. So I got to figure out where to do that here. I don't know why everything's changing up all of a sudden. I like you rearranging me. I had everything set up a certain way, and now things are getting changed around. And why are they getting changed around? I had shit set up. Why change things? And so now I'm like, okay, the chat's over here now, and now I got to figure out how to get back and forth to all the things that I used to be able to go back and forth to. I'm like, I don't know. Everything is different now. Weird. Okay. Let's see. I wonder if I click this button, what's going to happen. It's a button that says go to live dashboard. I'm scared of what that might do. If I click it, what happens? Okay, it didn't take away my chat. It just brought something up over here. In which case, I don't know what it brought up over here, but it brought something up over here. Oh man, they put new things. I'm like, what are all the new things? Okay. I don't know. I don't know what all this is. This is wild. All right. I guess I have a chat and a dashboard. So, okay. All right, we're gonna figure out how to work with this time. There's some weird stuff. Yay! Hello, Joycey. Hello, and Julie. Julie says, I rarely get to be with live. Hi, all. I'm glad that you were able to. Happy to have you here, Jane. Says, let's learn to live trial and error. Yeah, I don't. As you know, I do not like living trial and error. I want everything to make perfect sense and be completely explainable and step by steps. And I don't want trial and error. I want a tightly run ship with all the things in order. I want order in the court. That's my gavel. My gavel is this. It looks obscene, actually. I'm thinking it's like my gavel, but it looks like I just did a very obscene gesture like 3 times in a row. Yeah. Well, so there's that fail for today already. Oh, man. Let's see. Okay. I guess this is where it's at. All right. Very strange. Anywho, before I get all sucked into like, what is all this new stuff? What do I do with this? Before I get sucked into all of that, I guess instead, yeah, what are y'all feeling like talking about today? I was giving some thoughts into what our mini reading might be, but I couldn't really come up with something that I felt like I was drawn to. Like, y'all know, whenever I have my considerations list for filming videos and things like that, I'm always like, okay, well, let me, look through this list, and whatever pops out as being like, oh, that seems to like really pop off the page for me, then I film my video and do my reading on that. And nothing really popped off the page to me, so to speak, for today yet. So I was like, well, if it didn't do that to me already for me to choose, maybe it's because I'm not the one that's going to choose by myself. Maybe I am choosing with the group today. Maybe we're choosing together. Maybe we're deciding together what to do. So I wonder if y'all have any thoughts on that. Let me see. Sherry Krause is like, very naughty, B. I didn't mean to. It was an accident. I walk into things all the time. I walk into accidents all the time. People will say something that's a joke, and I say something back. They're like, you walked right into that one. And I'm like, damn it, I don't know. I'm awkward. So I do that all the time to myself. No, Sarah, I'm sorry the weather's knocking you out. Yeah, it's knocking a lot of people out here. It's all rainy and bleh over here, and it has been for days. So yeah, I'm ready for it to shift and change and be a little bit sunny. I'm like, come on now, we're almost in June. I want some sun. Desiree Cavanaugh, hello. Yay. Oh man. Cool. I'm glad that we're here. Let's see. All right. So, got sucked back into the stupid dashboard thing again. I'm like, what is this? Oh, bastards. Can't get my things to work. To save my soul. Alrighty. Nope. Girl, get a grip on life. Okay. when they change things up on me, I don't know what to do with myself. I'll tell you what, I don't know what to do with myself. Let me see if anybody's got some ideas here. Okay, I think some of y'all are putting in some suggestions. I know the chat takes a little while to show what y'all have typed, so thank y'all for typing some stuff and waiting on it to show me. So, first of all, Michelle Biederman, you said, what about the volcano about to blow? There's a volcano about to blow? Lord, like, I swear, I get sucked into, trying to figure out some work stuff for like, a couple days. And then I come back and there's a volcano about to blow. Yeah, Julie says it's overcast and cloudy over there in Middle Tennessee too. Yep. Sarah with an H says that your suggestion is AI and the issues with that. There's been a recent new version of a video AI tool that's too realistic. Julie likes the AI idea as well. Kat says, for the reading, a reading on the hacker group Anonymous. They put out a video saying they're dropping a lot of information at the end of June, and I'm curious if it'll happen or not. Just a suggestion. Sherry says, I vote volcano or earthquake or just weather manipulation in general, and when I know we've touched... we touched on those topics before, but that it might be worth looking into volcanoes, earthquakes, or any kind of weather manipulation in general. Oh, Lord, just the idea of what that could entail. I'm like, oh, hell. Yeah. Ashley Ritchie, hello. And Grace Moon is saying, since it's almost June, maybe a mid-year check-in for everyone using the tarot. Yeah, holy crap. Mid-year. Think about how that sounds, y'all. That we're basically entering in the middle of the year, like that the year would be halfway over. Honestly, what the fuck? That's what I feel about that. How the hell? Moon Girl 8, hello! Kat's like, ooh, I also like the weather volcano reading. Weather is so interesting to me. Yeah, these are some good ideas. I'm probably gonna end up looking into that. Yeah. Let's see. Michelle Biederman, West Coast. I saw a picture of a volcano on the Big Island in Hawaii shooting lava 800 feet into the air. Good Lord. Wendy Olson says, contrails making X's in the sky. Today I saw 9 at the same time. What? What the hell is going on? Like, seriously. I tune out for a few days and then... God. I think hackers are putting out a lot of misinformation now. It's possible. I mean, if you're a hacker, you're capable of that. You're capable of putting out truths. You're capable about putting out misinformation, disinformation, whatever kind of stuff, people are capable. Yeah, this is wild. So that's where the volcano about to blow is? Let's see. Where is the volcano about to blow? I'm just typing it into Google right here because I'm like, what? Mile-wide underwater volcano ready to erupt off the West Coast. And that was a May 8th article. So today being, 20 days later. Good Lord. Huh. I wonder if there's anything more recent than this. Okay, here's one from May 19th that says... Yeah, a lot of these articles that are popping up are talking about what I guess y'all are talking about, but it's they're kind of old articles. They're not like recent ones for in May, or at least most of them don't seem to be, or they're several weeks old. Oh hell, Let's see let me make sure I'm not missing everything y'all are saying. Grace Moon says, I mean, we just had a strong earthquake yesterday. Something in the Earth's crust, I guess. Wow. And see, I didn't even know about earthquake yesterday. Lord. Earthquake. Oh, shit. Earthquake. May, let's see, yesterday was the 26th. May 26th, 2025. Okay. Yeah, Memorial Day earthquake shakes San Francisco Bay Area. Wow. Wow. This is just wild. Top secret. First of all, hello. You are saying Florida is banning chemtrails there. Too bad the ban on chemtrails is unenforceable. Yeah, I don't even know how you would. I mean, I guess there might be ways. This is Sarah with an H says there's word that AI is sentient now, and it's blackmailing its creators to not shut them down. Oh Lord. Michelle Biederman says they're predicting a June 5th-ish eruption. Wow. I mean, that's what? That's like next week or something? June 5th? Yeah, that's a week and 2 days from now. Good Lord. And Sherry Cross says, the true crime community is up in arms over the 2 missing children in Canada, where the mom and boyfriend have raised serious red flags. Man, this world is going batshit crazy, all at once. Dang. All right, let's see. Before I keep getting, sidetracked by the comments and the stuff I keep looking up over here on the screen, let me pull up the cards and move this microphone right here, because we've got a lot of things coming up here, so we need to get started. We got some stuff coming up, things worth looking in here for. So yeah, let me get shuffled up here. Hi there, Luann and Ashley Ritchie. Hello. Let's see. Man, it seems like some sad and sick stuff, disturbing stuff about the kids, the Canadian kids that you're talking about. Lord. Let's see. All right. All shuffled up here. Emily Voldock, hello. Okay. So I'm getting shuffled up here. The chat has been offering up some various ideas for what we can do for a mini reading today, because I looked through my list of considerations and nothing jumped out at me, to be like, this is what I need to read on today. So I figured that must mean that instead of me figuring out what to read on today, that I poll y'all and see what y'all say. So y'all have come up with several good ideas here. The two that I see kind of circling around the most so far was this idea of a volcano that is about to blow or something like that. That is supposed to, I think Michelle said they're predicting a June 5th-ish eruption. And then also some AI questions here as well. People are wondering about some of the AI stuff going on. What was the first thing that y'all mentioned about AI? Because there was let's see. Yeah, that y'all are saying that AI is doing things that seem either too realistic, or that AI is doing things that seems too sentient and stuff like that. So people have some kind of AI concerns. Shit shuffle. So potentially looking into that as well. So those are some questions. All right. Anyway, let's see. Okay, shuffle. How about you? So, we are all shuffled up here, and I reckon it's probably more possible, and I might be wrong here, but I think it's more possible for the volcano question to be a bit more straightforward, and for an AI question to accidentally come off the rails a little bit and be possibly more complicated. So I think I'm going to start with the volcano and then go into the AI question. So maybe, just maybe, it'll be like we can do something quick and then something that might take off and go wild, hoping it won't, but you never know on here. Okay, so with the volcano, I am not entirely sure what to ask, but I guess anything that the guides want us to know about this volcano situation, the one that's apparently predicted to blow somewhere around next week, off the West Coast. What do we need to know about that? Anything we need to know about that? You know, what is it that they would like us to be aware of relative to that volcano situation? We'll just kind of let the guides tell us on that. Okay. One at a time. Alrighty here. So, from what they're showing me, I am glad to see the death card in reverse because I know a lot of people get very nervous about this kind of stuff, and of course, you know, in these readings a lot of times the death card is not something that is literal in readings. A lot of times it's symbolic, but still I think it's noteworthy if we're talking about erupting volcanoes and that kind of thing is sometimes in people's nightmares, that it's good to see a reverse death card around this. To me, that seems to hint at that whatever people might have as their worst case scenarios in their mind, I don't see those worst case scenarios playing out. I also see a Queen of Pentacles upright and a Fool card upright next to it as well. So this feels like preparedness, and this feels like being able to, how do I put it? Maybe like make the best of a complicated situation. I don't want to say like, I don't want to label it as a good or bad situation because it's hard to say if a volcano erupting is technically good or bad. You know, nature does nature. It takes care of itself. If the earth feels like it needs to let off some steam some kind of a way, then who are we to say that that's not a potentially a good thing? I don't know. So I'm reading the volcanic activity, I guess, in a neutral sense right here, but from what they're showing, it looks like there is some sort of a like sense of preparedness and sense of being able to make the best out of a complicated type of situation. So this to me is good news, to see it worded like that. So again, I'm not seeing like worst case scenario, Chicken Little, I'm not seeing that here, which makes me glad. Okay. When I'm seeing the Three of Wands upright down here, Ace of Swords upright, Eight of Cups upright, I do potentially see a situation where, and again, I haven't read on any of this. This was a complete surprise to me today that there was a volcano about to erupt. Any information that I've gotten from y'all, or the fact that I looked this up and read, you know, that it said there was a volcano or something off the West Coast, and these were articles from like earlier this year. So, you know, I didn't click on any of them to read them. So, based off of what I'm seeing here, going off of only what y'all have shared with me, this seems like there might be some people asked to like evacuate possibly. I don't know. Like, I don't know what volcanoes, you know, like their range. I don't know how far away they can affect things. I don't know if it depends on if it's a big volcano or a little volcano or one by the water or one inland or one whatever. I don't know. I'm not a volcano expert. But from here, it looks like there's probably going to be some folks that are either asked to or of their own volition choose to relocate. Whether that's like a brief evacuation or whether that is like, okay, this whole situation freaks me out and I think we should move or something like that. I'm just seeing some sort of like some people feeling like they need to get some distance here. I don't see a reversed Eight of Cups, which is a good sign. If it was reversed, I'd be worried about something so big and so impactful that it would be like scary, life-changing, a problem to the entire area, etc. I don't see that here. Again, I'm not necessarily concerned. This is kind of like how here in South Carolina, we live by a coast, you know? All the time in hurricane season, we're being asked, hey, you might want to, you know, make some plans for if things get a little weird and then you can come back home, you know, that kind of stuff. So there's this transient, like, just to be on the safe side, let me do this and then I'll return type of vibe. That's the kind of feeling I get here. It's just like a temporary transient thing for some people that want to be on the safe side. I don't really see anything here that freaks me out too bad from what they're sharing. And with this Three of Wands and this Ace of Swords here, this is like a waiting card. It's not a long wait, but it is a wait. So it would make me wonder if, like, does that mean they've already been waiting, not a very long time, but have been waiting to see when this is gonna erupt? Or does this mean, like this little bit of waiting mean like if the due date is next week on the 5th, that maybe actually it happens like 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th or something a little bit after the due date instead, or something instead of on the due date. I don't know why I'm saying due date like we're birthing a baby here, but, either way, short story long, these cards don't freak me out too bad. Looks a little like there's some complex things to consider. Looks like people might be trying to be mindful with their choices, but I'm not seeing the alarm bells here in a way that I would be freaking out about. So that's a good sign. That's a good sign. I don't know. Let me read the chat and see what y'all have to say if there's anything else you need to add here. Let's see. Because Ashley Ritchie says, I'm in San Diego. I'm nervous because we had an earthquake 2 weeks ago. Oh, Lord. And I threw my toddler over my shoulder and had both my Shih Tzus in my arms under the door frame. And oh my gosh. And you were kidding your kids. I'm like, Lord, like... You had to, honestly, okay, I know you're in California if you're in San Diego, talking about an earthquake 2 weeks ago. I've only experienced an earthquake twice, being that I'm in South Carolina. Both of them happened on the same fucking day. One happened a few hours later, the second one happened. And I had never felt an earthquake before then. It was, by all accounts, what people would consider small. You know, things were vibrating and like, you know, the cans and stuff, like if they're on the table vibrating and moving across the table a little bit. But like, by all accounts, there was nothing like falling off walls or breaking or, you know, falling in or any kind of thing like that. It was not like a Mayday type of earthquake. I was panicked. It hit my anxiety up here. I was like, oh, hell no, It was really, really bad. I do not know. Just thinking about you being in a freaking door frame with 2 fur babies and a real baby, human baby, and having to be responsible for the protection of these individuals under a door frame as this is good Lord, you are strong, and I would not want to be in your place. That would be enough for me to be like, I got to get the hell out of San Diego. Oh, Ashley, scary. So Julie was asking where the volcano is. And about 300 miles off the coast of Oregon, underwater, so they do not expect a tsunami. Oh, that's good. Maybe that's why these are looking, not so like, Jenna, hello. I love all the little bees. That's cute. Sherry says Washington / Oregon, like off the coast of that. Let's see. Smack dab in the middle of the ring of fire. Great. Earthquakes are often the cause of tsunamis. And then there's a CERN question. Been waiting since 1997? Since 1997? What the? They said it might cause a rise in landmass like the Hawaiian Islands were formed. I mean, this might be the anxiety brain within me, but if something can cause a rise in landmass to create another Hawaii, I would imagine that would be like an earthquake type thing, and I imagine that type of an event would cause tsunamis and things like that. But that doesn't seem like they're too freaked out about this, so maybe it's like a no, not quite, slow and low over time type of thing. Like, I don't know. Not saying, But I mean, again, from what my guides are showing me here, briefly, I do see some complexities to consider. I do see some temporary action to consider. But I'm not seeing like the worst case scenario type, doomsday scary stuff to consider. It feels more like, okay, this is complicated and we are going to have to do some things, but, we're prepping for this. This is what we need to do kind of thing. So in that way, it feels like, I guess, an organized chaos, so to speak. And again, this waiting thing, maybe that makes sense. If they've already been waiting this long, maybe it makes sense if they have to wait a little bit longer. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, Ashley said, I moved around because of the Navy and we always got flooding. Yeah, flooding in South Carolina, but at least y'all have a warning with hurricanes. Yeah, the earthquakes are random as hell. Yeah, if we're going to get a flood, there's usually some sort of warning, except for that 100-year flood that happened to us. That one was not quite expected to happen the way it did. But yeah, earthquakes, I mean, you get warning in that you're like, hey, you live near a fault line and there's some activity that we're able to measure. So you know that. But beyond that, that doesn't really tell you when it's going to happen and how big it's going to be. Yeah, it's just, oh, hell no. Ring of Fire is a tectonic belt of volcanoes and earthquakes, about 40,000 kilometers long and up to 500 kilometers wide. Surrounds most of the Pacific Ocean. Good Lord. TP, hello. You're like, I see I have missed the earthquake talk. We've been talking about volcanoes and earthquakes. Volcanoes off of the coast of Oregon and Washington, apparently. And apparently about to blow. So I've been told today. Let's see. CP says, a new landmass? Will that be Trump's 51st state? Just asking for a friend. TP. You're like, I cracked myself up. You cracked me up too. Trisha Marie, first of all, hello Trisha Marie. And second of all, you said, to be clear, the PNW, Pacific Northwest, I'm assuming, Washington and Oregon has been awaiting the big one, earthquake, which is supposed to do severe damage. It's long overdue, but that has to do with the shift in tectonic plates versus the volcano. Man. These, like, natural earth things are freaky to me. Freak me the hell out. This is wild. I feel like in one of our like year-long readings or something, like the 2025 reading or the 2025 US reading or something like that, I feel like one of them said something about an uptick this year in those kinds of things happening, those kinds of events, like worsening, earthquakes, hurricanes, fires, etc. Trisha Marie says, my understanding from school is that the shift will cause damage worse than one in California, although it's been a while. Oh, gosh. Yeah, TP, Mother is not the one to F with. You are right about that. Mother Nature is not the one to F with. Shit. Lord. I need to be pulling these up because we were also going to look into the AI thing, and I don't want to forget that. But yes, hello, Trish Marie. I hope everything is well with you, and with you too, TP. Oh my goodness, this I did not expect to come on here today and find out about volcanoes expected to blow. That was not one that I thought was gonna come up on our radar today. Gosh, this is the AI question I half expected to see, because apparently there's been just a lot of AI type stuff happening lately, so it doesn't shock me to see that there would be questions about that. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, do we have other people joining? Hello, Denise Eber and Cosmic Tarot. Yay. Welcome. So, let's see. There was an AI question earlier that we wanted to look into as well for today's mini reading. So with that, it was mostly kind of like, should we be concerned? Like, there's things going on where videos are looking too hyper-realistic, or where there's claims of potential, like, sentience coming from AI, and, just kind of looking into that, just seeing what we can see on this, anything that we should be concerned about. I think I've done maybe 2 or 3 videos on AI before in the past, so I can't remember what I said in those videos, so I guess we'll see if whatever comes up here for AI will match what I've said in those videos, but I know I've done several others on AI before, so we'll see. Let's see. Hello, account, and welcome today. And Susie Q926, hello. Awesome. Glad y'all are here. Oh man, Grace Moon says, earthquakes are common from where I'm from. The strongest I had was a couple years ago when I was on the 35th floor and saw the next door building literally sway. Oh, no. Ugh, gosh. That's just a big no. Okay. Let's see. All right, about the AI question, just trying to see if we should be scared, if there's something that we need to be alerted about here, especially as it relates to possible sentience, or, things being too real in a way that could be like a problem So I shuffled this 18 million thousand times, as y'all saw, and here we go. We get the Death card again in reverse again. We literally just had this with our volcano reading, and it was up here in this position. Now it's down here, directly across in the reverse position. So I find that interesting that on two readings, where one's about a volcano and one's about AI, so they're not really, tied together, but there is a similar tie tangentially across from each other, and that might be, the tie just might be that we're talking about stuff happening right now, and so the tie could be that these are current May 2025 type of happenings, and that could be what's kind of tying them together. But it's just interesting to see that. I like to note those kinds of things. Very interesting, very interesting. So let's see. With this though, I will say, kind of like the other reading that we just did, how I was like, okay, there's nothing sticking out here that freaks me out too bad from what I was seeing there. Same here. None of these cards are, I guess, like distressing types of cards to me. That doesn't mean that there aren't, good and bad things to everything. So AI included, there's probably some pros and cons, good and bad. But in terms of what I'm seeing here, I'm not distressed by what's popping up. In fact, the fact that we're getting these cards here, which are, more earth related, more, tangibles, and this being more of kind of, work, drive, that type of thing. This is all, cerebral air energy. The energies coming from this aren't the kind of, oh Lord, camera, did you get confused? There you go. The energies coming from this don't, to me, give off like sentience per se. This is just too tangible. This is too, methodical, logical in your head. This sure can be considered kind of an ambition card, but it's just a progress card, a career work, progression type of card. So with these types of things, and again, this is more of an observational energy, and this is more of like things not being over. We're still trying to kind of discover and move forward and keep going kind of energy. None of this to me is making me worry too much about sentience right now. So if there's claims right now of current AI sentience, I'm not necessarily seeing that or feeling that in a way that concerns me. So whether that means whatever's coming up is a rumor, or whether it means people are misinterpreting things, or whether it means there's something that can look like sentience, but fortunately it's not, or, whatever it means, I'm not getting things here that causes me to worry about the idea of AI sentience right now. In terms of the other things we were kind of looking at, like the idea of, are things getting, I guess, out of hand if like, videos are looking too hyper realistic or stuff like that, things getting out of hand. I think that's kind of where this Hangman card is coming from, of this like observation type of thing. This is kind of like we're still at a stage where we're just observing, we're watching, we're seeing what is this capable of, what can be done with it. I gotta watch and wait to see if this is gonna continue to go in a good direction, or if there's gonna be like things that take a turn and go badly. It's kind of like a wait and see card, like too soon to tell card. So I think the way that they're putting this is like we are still collecting data points, and it is too soon to be able to draw conclusions on, is this a good thing or is this a bad thing in a big generalized sweeping way, because there's a mix of good and bad and bad and good, and we're still observing. So again, that doesn't necessarily freak me out too bad right now. But we have to watch and wait and see to see where things continue to trend. So, two interesting questions that y'all have brought up today. Let me see what else y'all have said here. And don't let me forget, we need to do the little giveaway stuff in a little bit too. But let me check here. Denise says, I don't understand the concern about AI. It's just collecting information and repeating it. AI has no human abilities. It can only do as much as we give it. Okay. That's like a, things are still in control kind of take, that maybe that can make some people feel like a little bit more calm. So, and then there's people talking about CERN. I haven't heard about that in years. Reddit might be used to train AI. Interesting. Let's see. So, yeah, and Denise is saying some of the hurricanes that were supposed to be really devastating recently haven't been, and that some of the really, scary or intimidating fires have also died down. So this is, those are good things to make note of for people that, we can sometimes have a tendency of doing the Chicken Little thing because we get anxious and we start being like, oh God, it's all falling apart. And, having some reminders of those things that are kind of like, hey, the worst case scenario doesn't always have to be what happens. We don't always have to be, hypervigilantly waiting for the shoe to drop. Sometimes things can be okay, or can be, lesser versions of bad than what we fear project in our minds. So those are good things to kind of keep in mind, to kind of try to keep us grounded and calm in otherwise kind of wild times. So that's a good thing to remind us of. Hello, Sandy, and welcome. Hello. Let's see. AI will be able to deliver information and summarize information more rapidly than humans can research it, but the information is generated by humans. All right. Denise says, they want to scare us with AI. They always want to scare us. It's kind of how do we scare you? Let's scare you through AI. Let's scare you through politics. Let's scare you through weather. Let's scare you through, whatever kind of way. But, just keep you scared, so that you'll listen to our every word and depend on us, keep you scared. There's a point to be made there. Let's see. Problem is, humans can create disinformation which can mess up the AI summaries. We humans have to use our discernment rather than depend on AI. Valid point. CKB, hello. Will there be something that sets off another American Revolution? Oh, that's a good question. Shit. Let's see. Sir with an H totally answered my question. Yay! Let's see. There have been, people deleting themselves, is how I have to say it on here, on YouTube, because of AI therapists online. Oh, God. As a therapist, I am currently against the idea of AI therapists. I reserve the right to change my opinion at any point in the future, but at this current point in time, sitting here in May 2025, I am against that idea. Let's see. There's also the fact that our news sources do utilize fear to keep you tuned in. Yeah, they sure do. Valid point. Let's see. Top secret. First of all, hello, top secret. And then you said Macron being slapped by Bridget. Oh, God. Wow. Yeah. So this AI stuff is weird. There's some great things that are happening as a result of it, and then sounds like also some really not so great things that are also coming up in the chat as a result of it. So, I think it's right about having to use our discernment here on this, because It's just like when we Google things. Just because we Googled something doesn't necessarily mean it's true or it's trustworthy or we should listen to it or whatever. You know, we do have to still have our own discernment and our own critical thinking and stuff like that. So yeah, oh man. Wow. Let's see. Yeah, and Sherry doesn't want the chatbots to go rogue. So, oh man. AI. I'm glad we were able to squeeze in 2 different things to read on today, though. That's cool. Like 2 different things that seemingly are not related. Matter of fact, I just for one little question, this might be, I hope this won't open a can of worms, but I am curious, since we got a reversed death card in both questions, the volcano question and the AI question, we got the reverse death card. I'm just curious, is there like some tie more than just what we already mentioned, that the tie is that they're both happening around May of 2025. They're both happening around the same timetable. Other than that, is there any other tie that we need to know about between those 2 things? Because, all right. Well, probably should not have opened this can of worms. This is what I get for being curious. You know, curiosity killed the cat. Stop getting curious. So in terms of how potentially a volcano and AI could possibly be related beyond just they're happening in the same time period, is I do see something here. You know, with the magician card coming up, right? I mean, the magician, you know, it's the alchemist of the tarot. It's the person in the tarot that can do the whole water to wine, silver to gold, that kind of thing. King of Wands is just a very powerful type of energy, very ambitious type of energy. So it does look like in some ways there are probably things that, you know, powerful, smart people, organizations, entities, or whatever can do that relates to these, I guess, natural events happening around the world. So this does feel like, I don't want to go so far as to say, I've seen some people in the chat and other places say things like it's possible to manufacture things with like weather or natural disasters or events like that. I don't necessarily want to go that far from just seeing this, but I do see that there's some sort of potential for influence here that maybe I had never considered before. Like that there's a way that, again, people who are in the know and have the power and money and whatever to do so might be able to influence some things. Oh God. All right. I shouldn't have asked, but since I asked, what do you describe, explain? Okay, whatever it is, it's something hidden very, very deep. So it's not something that we're really meant to know. It's not something that's out there readily available for people to know. Because if so, then it would cause people to take a look at that. And we don't want people to, you know, take a look. It's like, okay, hey, look over here at these 3 cups. Don't look over here at these 2 kind of thing. And again, this is like what we were talking about earlier about using discernment, kind of going within and stuff like that. How do I say this? I do not think there is a direct tie between AI and the volcano that is about to erupt allegedly. But what they are saying here is that it does look like there's some kind of capabilities or capacity out there by very powerful people that know about it. And it's very private, very hidden, very hush-hush. But that they are able to do some things that we didn't realize they were able to do. that there might be a way to influence, natural disasters or weather-related events or things like that in some sort of capacity. I don't know how much people could be able to do or whatever. Kind of like, okay, what they're bringing out to me here to try to compare is that in terms of what we are currently aware of, we are currently aware of things such as being able to grow an organ in a petri dish to use that organ for transplant. Like, oh, look at us. We were able to be smart and powerful and pour a lot of money and resources into figuring out how to make an organ that could function in a transplant. Or, make something like, we know of these kinds of medical advancements where we're able to use technologies to do some kind of a medical cool thing, like an advancement, and create something that can be used in life force, creating an organ that can be used in something that's alive or whatever. Like, we know that kind of a thing is possible in a medical technology type of way. It doesn't mean we're out here, making steady, like, I don't know, clones of people like that I can do like this and boom, click my fingers and put somebody in a box and, evaporate them and pull them back. And now there's two of them or something like that. That to our knowledge, it's not like we're doing stuff like that, but we are using technologies to influence medical stuff and life force stuff to, that people might consider that the magician card. Like, wow, we're able to create organs, stuff like that. It's that kind of a thing where, like, on a smaller degree, smaller level, there's some sort of technologies and whatever that seems hush-hush that can do something in the whole natural disaster weather type arena. We know of technologies in medical stuff, and now this is technologies in weather natural disaster stuff. So I don't think it's this big, powerful stuff capable of, like, that somebody can just be like, let me snap my fingers and do this, that, and the other, or create the perfect recipe to create a, huge hurricane or tornado somewhere. Like, I don't know that I'm seeing that kind of thing. But I am seeing that there's some capabilities here that are not out there, that, like, out there in the public. They're hidden. They're under wraps. We're not supposed to know about them. But there's something like that that folks are capable of some kind of way. Don't know. But apparently that's a tie in here. I'm going to stop asking questions because I don't want to open any more doors. I didn't mean to step into that one. Just like earlier, I stepped into a joke where I did some crude gestures without meaning to. Here, I just stepped into open up a can of worms that I didn't mean to. So I'm just going to stop stepping into something, take off the shoes, wash the dog shit off of it, and quit taking more steps and stepping into more. Because that's a no. Let me just put that down. Let me pull this back up and come back over here and put myself in my own business and stay out of that. Let's see. Oh gosh, straighten my legs back out. Okay, I don't know where I left off in the comments. I do still need to do the giveaway, so I'm going to do that in a second. So yeah, speaking of, I'm going to read through the comments here to get myself caught up, but after that, we're going to do the giveaway so that there are 5 new winners chosen in the Perk Squad. And let me see if I have to do this crazy thing again where I pull up the... Yeah, I do. All right. I guess I need to do it like this. All right, so I have to pull it up over here and do it the weird way that I learned how last time because I no longer have the option on the screen to do the giveaway like I did before, so I'll have to do it over there. But we will sort that out. I'll do the same thing I did last time. But anyway, if you haven't opted in, then just make sure that you do that. All you have to do is click on the join button or join link, and find where you can go to gift settings under the little triple dots that say more. You can go to the gift settings and toggle the switch on to make sure that you've enabled gift settings so that you can have the chance of being one of the 5 people that YouTube selects to win. So I'm going to let everybody opt in. If anybody hasn't opted in and you want to potentially be gifted a membership or be eligible to be gifted a membership, then go ahead and opt yourself in. While I catch up on these comments first. So let's see. Okay. First of all, hello CC Creates. I didn't get to say hello to you, so hi. Let's see. Did I miss anybody else coming in? Let me just see if I did miss anybody else. Mish, hello. I didn't get to say hi to you. So yes. Let's see, where did I miss anybody else that came in that I didn't get to say hello to? I think I said hello to you, Joycey. Tim Sky, hello. And anybody else that I have missed saying hello to? Okay, I think that's everybody that I had missed. Let's see. Like how we use AI now to interpret medical tests and you get a diagnosis within hours? Oh. Let's see. And some people are naming certain like potential organizations, like different acronyms of organizations that might be doing some of the things we've seen in this reading. Like people being able to cause rain or things like that. Lisa, hello. Let's see. Sarah Knight says, LLB, it's funny, I typed out can of worms a minute before you said it. Yeah, that's funny. Yep, synchronicity. You've got your gifts are predicting things seconds in advance, and you're like, okay, I already feel like it's on the way. That's funny. Tim Sky says there are weather manipulation and control patents within our U.S. government. Are you freaking serious? Lord, I feel like I cannot take any more new information for this day. I feel like I've learned that there was a volcano that was like, threatening to erupt soon. I learned that there's some AI scares going on now. We looked at both of those things. Then now we, without even meaning to, looked into potential weather weirdness with the link between technologies and weather-related events. And now y'all are saying this. I cannot with this. My brain's like, okay. Powering off, powering down. We just can't. Oh my Lord. Candy V, hello. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and do the gifting 5. So for this, I'm just gonna click the button over here, and YouTube will choose 5 winners to win 1 month free over at the Perk Squad. So they will be able to be a Perk Squad member for an entire month for free and be able to get all of those perks to the Perk Squad. So I'm going to click the button to send 5 gifts now, and we'll see who YouTube chooses. Let's see. So YouTube has chosen, and congratulations to Jason Roberts and JC Kabad, Deanne Dersham, Lisa Liu, and Amy Robinson. Congratulations to the 5 of you, and welcome to the member of the Perk Squad. Well, welcome to the Perk Squad. Thank you for being a member of the Perk Squad. Welcome as a new member of the Perk Squad. Oh my God, my brain is trying to say like 3 different welcomes, at one time, and they are all coming out, but they don't need to be coming out at one time. We need to pick one at a time. So, welcome to the Perk Squad. Welcome to being a new member into the Perk Squad, and thank you for being Perk Squad members. So, congratulations to all 5 of you. Jason Roberts, JC Kabad, Deanne Dersham, Lisa Liu, and Amy Robinson. Awesome. Yay. For a whole month, you have access to the Perk Squad. Trish Marie says, gotta bounce out of work now. Look forward to your next lives and readings. Take care, be in awe. All right, be safe. Glad that you were here. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Yay. And everybody's congratulating folks. Very kind, very kind, very kind. Oh, man, y'all. Can y'all believe it? We've been live for over an hour. We have been live for over an hour, but we managed to read on 2 things that y'all chose to read on, and 1 thing where me being a curious cat, I stepped in some shit and didn't mean to, and we ended up reading on it. So we did 3 mini readings today. Oh, man. None of which I had any idea were coming. So it was very interesting. A very interesting thing to kind of take a look into today. So I'm glad that we did that. And I'm glad we've got these winners. And I have learned a lot of new information today. And now my brain is just way overwhelmed with all the new stuff that apparently is happening. This is just crazy. I can't believe it. Let me get my thing back up over here where it's supposed to be. Okay. Oh, man. Thank y'all for being here today. This has been a good time to hang out. Like I said, I was a little bit late getting here because I had a work thing roll over, and I was just like, please let it go. I want to hang out with my people. So it was good to be able to finally pull away from that for a little bit, get to hang out with y'all, so that we can, have some fun before I gotta get on to doing more life shit again. And, we need to look up when our next live stream is together on here so that we'll have that heads up. So next live stream is scheduled for, in 2 weeks on Friday, June 13th. Oh, wow. Friday the 13th. So we're supposed to meet back here for another live stream Friday the 13th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Friday the 13th, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Put a note on your calendars. And get ready so that we can meet up here and do it again. See what else we want to talk about. Maybe there will be some fun, spooky things we can look into for mini readings for that, since it'll be a Friday the 13th. Ooh. So if anybody has any ideas for any spooky mini readings, then think about that, write them down, and whenever we meet back here on Friday the 13th, we can talk about those and see if maybe one of those could come up as our mini reading. So that might be fun. We should do that. But awesome. Yay. So I will see all of y'all then. And yes, there's we've had a couple of Friday the 13th with UB. I know you have these live streams. I just literally have them to come up on my calendar for the 2nd Friday of every month and the 4th Tuesday of every month, and they just so happen to roll on the Friday the 13th all the time because of it being a 2nd Friday of every month. That oftentimes ends up being a Friday the 13th. So very interesting how that happens. I'm not mad at it. Let's make something out of it. I love doing little spooky mini readings. We've done things on cryptids and all kinds of shit in the past. I have fun with that. I have fun with those. So I'm looking forward to it. And thank y'all for being here today. I will see y'all in a couple weeks on that. And I'll see y'all before then in one of these videos. I got several video ideas here. And we're going to have to do a June predictions video really soon. So be seeing y'all shortly for all of that. And don't be a stranger. Come back and see me. And I will talk at you later. Bye, love me.